Good day, everyone. This is Group 3, and today we will be discussing Concept 14.4, wherein many human traits follow Mendelian patterns of inheritance.
Pedigree analysis, a collection of information about a family's history for a particular trait and assembling this information into a family tree, describing the trait across the generations. Pedigrees help calculate the likelihood of a child inheriting specific traits. In a hypothetical case, if a couple with a widow's peak, dominant recessive WW, and ability to taste PTC, dominant recessive TT, has another child, the probabilities are 3/4 for a widow's peak, 1/4 for inability to taste PTC, and 3/16 for both traits. This analysis assumes an independent assortment of alleles. Pedigrees become crucial for more serious diseases, but the same principles apply for simple Mendelian traits.
Moving on to recessively inherited disorders. In the world of genetics, thousands of disorders are inherited as simple recessive traits. These are features that are only expressed when the individual inherits two copies of the recessive allele, one from each parent. When individuals bear different alleles, as seen in the example, they are called heterozygous. If an individual carries two identical alleles, they are called homozygous, which is why albinism is a recessive trait. This can be further studied by the table found in Figure 14.16.
Here in dominantly inherited disorders, we have achondroplasia, a form of dwarfism occurs in 1 out of every 25,000 people. Like extra fingers or toes, it's a trait where the recessive allele is more common than the dominant. Unlike achondroplasia, some dominant alleles cause lethal diseases. For instance, Huntington disease is a neurodegenerative and fatal with a 50% chance of inheritance. The availability of genetic testing brings a difficult decision for those with a family history.
A common disease in the U.S. is cystic fibrosis. It is a genetically inherited disease that causes mucus to build up in organs. Children who inherit two recessive alleles for CF will have defective or absent chloride transport channels in the plasma membranes. The most common inherited disease from African descent is sickle cell disease. Red blood cells become sickle-shaped due to the substitution of a single amino acid in the hemoglobin protein of RBC. The cells may clog blood vessels, leading to symptoms through the body like pain, organ damage, and even paralysis. Although two sickle cell alleles are necessary for an individual to have sickle cell disease, thus the condition is considered recessive. The presence of one sickle cell allele can affect the phenotype.
Multifactorial disorders blends genes and lifestyle. Examples include heart disease, diabetes, cancer, and mental illnesses. Unlike simple genetics, these disorders involve many genes and are influenced by diet, exercise, smoking, and stress. For example, genes affect heart health, but lifestyle matters too. Healthy habits like exercise and diet can lower the risk. Educating about healthy habits is crucial for reducing the burden of these diseases.
So, genetic counseling is the study of an individual's genetic and their medical history to identify possible genetic conditions and risk. Now, based on Mendelian genetics, let's consider the case of a hypothetical couple, John and Carol, whose parents are carriers of a recessive allele and both had brothers who died of the same recessive disease. John and Carol each have a 2/3 chance of being carriers and a 1/3 chance of being homozygous dominant. The chance of their first child having the disease is 1/9, calculated by dividing the chance of John being a carrier by Carol's chance of being a carrier. If their first child is born with the disease, we know then that John and Carol's genotype must be AA and they are both carriers.
There are two types of testing to look for genetic disorders in the fetus. Screening, a non-invasive procedure to screen certain chromosomal defects and disorders. Diagnostic, such as amniocentesis and chorionic villus sampling, CVS, to determine whether the fetus has a serious recessive disease. Non-invasive tests have no known risk to either the mother or fetus. However, diagnostic tests may cause complications in a small percentage of cases based on factors like family history.
This is Group 3's Concept 14.4, wherein many human traits follow Mendelian patterns of inheritance. Thank you.